when my neighbor, a power-drunk HOA president, dragged away my tractor in front of my kids. Something inside me snapped. She smirked like she'd won a war. But she didn't know two things. One, I had proof she trespassed onto my farmland. And two, the sheriff was already on his way. What happened next made her scream in front of the entire block. And the video? Let's just say it broke the neighborhood group chat. It started on a dry Tuesday morning in late spring, when the tractors hum louder than the birds and everyone minds their own business. Everyone, except Tammy, our new HOA president, the kind of woman who patrols the neighborhood in yoga pants with a walkie-talkie and a measuring tape. I had parked my tractor halfway on my own driveway and slightly onto the grassy shoulder, which, for the record, was still on my private land. I was doing work on the back fence that morning and had left it there overnight. By 8:30 a.m., my 6-year-old daughter came running inside yelling, "Daddy, that mean lady is taking your tractor." I ran out in disbelief. Sure enough, there she was, arms crossed, standing with two men from a towing company. My green John Deere tractor was hooked up and being pulled away, scraping against the curb like some rusted criminal. "You can't do this," I yelled. Tammy smirked. "This vehicle is in violation of HOA Code 7.4, improper machinery storage." I said, "That's not even an HOA road. That's my land." She laughed. "Then sue me. It's already been removed." But I wasn't going to sue. I was going to expose. Tammy had made 3 fatal mistakes that morning. 1, she didn't realize the grassy area was part of my deeded land. 2, she trespassed and gave verbal orders without any HOA vote. 3, and worst of all, she did it all on camera. My daughter had been filming with her iPad. Not just the towing, but Tammy yelling at my wife, calling her white trash, and threatening to clean up this farmer infestation. I uploaded the footage to our neighborhood Facebook group. It exploded. Neighbors I hadn't spoken to in months commented things like, "She towed your tractor? How is this even legal?" I've had it with her, but I wasn't done yet. I called the sheriff's department, not just to report theft, but to request a civil enforcement visit for trespassing and illegal seizure of private property. The next morning at 7 a.m., I heard another loud knock. Not from Tammy this time, but from the sheriff himself, standing tall in uniform. I invited him in and showed him everything. The video, the deed, the coordinates, even the HOA handbook she claimed to follow. Sheriff Jenkins wasn't impressed. He said, "Looks like she stepped way over the line." And then came the best part. "Would you like to accompany me while we retrieve your property?" I followed him in my pickup as we drove to the impound yard. There, behind a locked chain-link fence, sat my mud-splattered tractor. As we spoke to the manager, guess who pulled up in a Lexus SUV? Tammy. She looked confused at first, but the second she saw me with the sheriff, her whole face changed. She stormed out, heels clicking, face red. "You call the cops on me?" Sheriff Jenkins calmly pulled out his notepad and said, "Ma'am, I have evidence you authorized a vehicle seizure on private property. Do you have the paperwork from the HOA board?" She stuttered. I am the board." "Ma'am," he said, "you're not exempt from the law." That's when she lost it. "This is harassment," she screamed. "He's a redneck farmer. He doesn't even belong here." Every mechanic and staff member at the yard turned to stare. Sheriff Jenkins calmly wrote something down and said, "Ma'am, you're free to file a complaint, but you'll be hearing from the county attorney's office shortly." Sheriff Jenkins walked calmly toward Tammy's car and said, "Ma'am, your actions may qualify as criminal trespassing and unlawful property seizure. I suggest you speak to a lawyer." Tammy's face flushed the color of raw meat. "Are you seriously taking a side? He's not even HOA board certified. He lives on a farm." The sheriff didn't flinch. "He owns the land you entered. That's all the certification I need." With that, he ordered the lot attendant to release my tractor immediately. As I climbed up and started the engine, I could see Tammy filming me with her phone, trying to spin it as if she were the victim. "You'll regret this. I'll have your entire barn condemned." But what Tammy didn't realize was that while she was busy yelling, half the neighborhood was watching a live stream my wife had posted. And the comments were brutal. "She's lost her mind. How is she still in charge? Call a recall meeting." Later that afternoon, I got a knock on the door. It wasn't Tammy. It was her husband, Bill, a quiet man who'd always avoided HOA drama. He looked exhausted. "Listen," he said, "I just want to apologize for my wife's behavior. I didn't know she'd taken it that far." I raised an eyebrow. "You mean the part where she stole a tractor? Or screamed at my wife in front of our kid?" He sighed. "All of it. I'm sorry. And I think you should know, the board's having an emergency vote tonight. I didn't attend the meeting, but I didn't have to." The next morning, a letter was taped to every mailbox on our street. "Tammy Reynolds has been removed as HOA president effective immediately. A special committee has been formed to investigate misuse of power and HOA funds." Boom. But that wasn't the end. 3 days later, I received a call from the county clerk's office. Turns out, Tammy had filed a complaint against me, trying to claim I'd intimidated her with farm equipment. They called it agricultural aggression. Seriously. Luckily, I had footage from 3 angles of her yelling, trespassing, and ordering the tow. I sent them everything. Within 48 hours, I got another call. "Sir, you're clear of all allegations." However, Ms. Reynolds is now under investigation for falsifying HOA records. Apparently, she'd been pocketing fines from multiple homeowners and writing phony violations. The next week, I got a small surprise in the mail, a refund check for $1,200. It was from the HOA for a bogus landscaping violation Tammy had filed against me 2 months ago. But the real cherry on top, at our next neighborhood block party, hosted on my farm, the sheriff himself showed up. He raised a drink and said, "Glad to see peace return to this street. And by the way, nice tractor." Everyone laughed, even Bill. And Tammy? She'd moved out, quietly. No goodbye post, no farewell brunch, just vanished, like stories where justice wins and the bad guys get exposed. Subscribe now. New real-life HOA dramas drop every single day. You won't believe what happens in tomorrow's episode.